Hello, Nick here. I just wanted to show you this little tutorial here on how to use SquareKicker with image cards. This design here actually came from a customer support ticket and just asking if we could create this design with SquareKicker. So what I've done is I've actually created it and I wanted to reverse engineer it just to show you what I've done to actually create this design. So first off, if I head into Squarespace, I can see that I've actually used an image card design here. So that's the image card. I've used a number here for the image, and I've gone over to the card design for the image block. Second, if I head into Squarespace, the really cool thing with SquareKicker is I've actually got a preset applied to this. So anything I do to this preset, I can apply it multiple times across all image blocks on the screen. So what I've done here is, first of all, I've added a background color to the image block. So you can see here, just there's a different color to the background of the image block. But the kind of cool thing is you can actually go to all these and actually give them all a different color as well after the fact, and give it a different background color per block, which adds this kind of a cool, really cool toggle effect. So even though I've got a image card applied for a preset for a white background, you can overwrite that preset by giving them a different color. So that's kind of a cool little effect there as well. So if I head into SquareKicker, and the next thing I'll notice with my block tools is I've given this block a border radius or a rounded corner. So you can see that's where the corner is coming from, the rounded corners. Next, the really cool important part about the is the image. So the image is actually the image inside of the image card, and if I adjust that width to a higher one, that's where you actually get the image card effect here. But with SquareKicker, you can go right down and make that just a bit smaller as well to see how far down you want to go. So I've set that at to about 15%, and also you can adjust the spacing here. That changes the layout between the spacing. And for this moment, I've got 5% here for the spacing in between these two. Also, I've set the ratio, but you can actually change the ratio of an image inside the card, and that still works as well. The other thing that's important to note is the text. So Squarespace by default has this kind of, I'm using the header and then the subheader text or image text, if you will. And if I head into here, I think it's normally about here it comes out of the box. So you can actually adjust the spacing between and just bring that down to 0 to kind of close up that gap there. Also, just to some, you can move things around in the block, if you will. I'm just going to leave that at the moment to 0. All right, so that's pretty much it. So that kind of gets you the design, but the one thing I wanted to notice is actually how that looks on mobile. So if I switch over to mobile, I'm actually going to see how good I've actually just changed this color here. So I'm just going to change this back to the way it was. And just clear that setting. Cool, so that's back to white. So the image I actually got here, the one on top, actually is a different image block, because before I had a image inside here, and I'll show what it looked like beforehand. So if I go to image and visibility, and I've turned this off, but if I turn it back on, go check it again. In fact, let's just turn off the preset. Then you'll definitely see it. Cool. So there is the image block there. And so by default, Squarespace actually wraps these images, and at the moment you can't actually change this size of this image on mobile because it affects the entire block. So what I've done is with the preset, I've actually hidden just the image inside the image card. And then I've gone and added a separate image on top of this as well. And on that image on the top, I've actually changed the width layout of the image block to be smaller on top. But then I've given this block as well. Let's go back to here. I've given this block on the image a border radius and a background color. And I've actually given the border radius a little bit of a trick here. So I've actually changed just the top two here and not the bottom two, because obviously this will change both the top and the bottom, but you can actually leave out the bottom border radius, so you can actually stitch two blocks together if the top and bottom. So that's kind of how I basically made the two cards merge together. But of course on desktop, I've actually hidden the visibility on this image card on visibility, so it's hidden all across all the top devices. So if I kind of scan up, that image block is there and it's hidden, but on mobile it's reversed. So then the image card image hides, image card image, it's a funny concept, and then the image block is actually hidden on desktop through the tablet and then visible on mobile. So that's how you create those two designs there. But obviously you notice one other thing is that I've actually got a spacer here, and this is a text block. If I didn't have this text block here, and I actually deleted this, these two blocks would actually run together. So a trick here is to actually add another block, and the text block works really well because this creates spacing, and if you have to add a space bar or something physical for a Squarespace not to automatically hide it. And I just want to get rid of the spacing because it's obviously there's a bit of spacing here, but this is too much spacing. So that's where you can head into SquareKicker again. There we go. And if you head into block, and you can actually go to layout, and then right at the bottom there's this cool, really fast no bleed. It's the same thing of actually killing the top and bottom padding, but no bleed will just kill all the padding. So when you hit save, that will actually show up as both options there. So if I actually clean that up and clean this up, and then the cool thing is, of course, you can use a preset. So I've already done this once as a preset. So the cool thing about a preset is that you can actually change all of them at the same time if you go back and decide to change your mind. So let's say if you go to layout and you change the width, you can actually change the width of all these, and it's really cool concept, or speed, if you will, to just take your time to develop one and then replicate that across your entire site. Cool. Well, I hope that was helpful, and yeah, if you have any cool things that you want us to see us make, reach out at support@squarekicker.com and send us a cool design and see if we can replicate it too. Cheers.